Now for our fourth team this afternoon, before our break, I'm introducing to you Paperweight.
We are Paperweight Technologies. Our team has developed a new product and proprietary process that will take the old and unimaginative paper printer industry forward.
I want you to take a second and think about your printer. I want you to think about how you felt when you bought it, when you set it up, how you use it day to day, and how you maintain it.
We believe your printer was not designed with you in mind. On the screen are some of the printers that you can purchase today. Do any of them invoke the honesty, simplicity, or reliability that you'd expect from a product that you use so often? Do you truly feel like you can rely on any of these printers during critical moments?
There's someone else in our cohort named Noah. You saw him earlier. He came up to us a couple weeks ago and said how much he hated his printer. It took him an hour and a half to attempt to set up the Wi-Fi on it. Eventually, he got so frustrated, he gave up. He truly hates his printer.
And he is not alone. We surveyed over 300 people, and they feel the same way about their printer as we do. With regards to appearance, general satisfaction, and ease of use, they deemed them scores of D-, D+, and C- respectively. If these printers were students at Queen's, they would be on academic probation. This is an industry where mediocrity is not only accepted, but unfortunately also expected.
So what's the solution to this problem? Well, we built a printer with you first. We found out that the user is what matters most, and we did this in 3 ways. We built the software and the hardware simultaneously, from the ground up. This means less friction points for you, the user, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. We then put our business model around the product. We don't want the relationship to end after you just purchase our product. We want you to be in this for the long term. So let's start with the hardware. Our printer has a patent-pending scanning system. It's 50% smaller than the industry average, and it's got a gorgeous, elegant design. I'd like you to meet, for the first time today, both physically and digitally, Page by Paperweight. Not HP DeskJet 1112 series, but Page. We have a transparent cover on the front, so if there is ever a problem, you can see it, diagnose it, and then solve the problem. It's 50% smaller, so you can keep it on your desk. So when you want to use it, you can use it, rather than it being a hassle. It's friendly in its appearance because we want you to be proud to show this thing off when someone comes into your home or office.
Let's talk about our patent-pending scanning process. We've removed the scanning bed altogether and replaced it with a device you already use every day, your phone. There are many scanning applications already built for your phone, like Cam Scanner, Evernote, and Tiny Scanner, but they suffer in 2 ways. 1, when taking a scan of a document, a shadow of your hand is formed, leaving your document looking like a low-quality photograph. And 2, all scans have to be taken manually, meaning taking a scan of a 50-page report would take forever. Our patent-pending scanning process allows you to take completely automated, high-quality, multiple-page scans for the first time ever using your phone. It works like this. You place your phone in our stand, and the documents are fed through the printer while the inkhead is turned off. While this is happening, your phone is taking high-quality, fully backlit scans of your documents. This means you can go, grab a coffee, and by the time you're back, all 50 pages of your report will be beautifully scanned and stored on your phone, on your computer, and on the cloud. By removing the scanning bed, we have reduced the size of your printer by 50%, and it can still print, scan, and copy. Our scanning method allows you to take scans at a rate of 30 pages per minute, which ultimately makes us the smallest and fastest home printer and scanner in the industry. And the best part of this all is that it works. This is the final model of Page, and this is our functional prototype. Our team has worked hard to build this thing from scratch, and it can print, copy, and scan using our scanning method and our desktop application. Judges, the packages you have in front of you were printed by this very prototype you see on stage. We have proven our vision and validated our assumptions, and we're very excited about this.
However, hardware is only half the story. Software is just as important in your printer. So let's start with a very basic example, setup. On the screen now is a quarter of the instruction manual to set up the Wi-Fi of a Canon MG 2020 Pixma printer. On the other side is ours. Simply hit the Bluetooth button on page, open our application, select your Wi-Fi network and password, and that's it. It's faster than ordering pizza. This is only the tip of the iceberg, though. We're able to print globally from around the world, so any device you own can print a document to your home. Anyone else in your house can also print by just launching their web browser.
Now let's talk about the real horror in printing, ink. This is terrifying. The fact that I have to go down to Staples and see this is absolutely frightening and frankly unacceptable. How do I know which one to buy? What if I buy the wrong one? And why do they cost so much? You may have also noticed that a single cartridge of ink can cost as much or more than your printer. As a result, retailers will only give you 1/3 of a cartridge of ink whenever you purchase a new printer, forcing you to buy another whole new cartridge of ink at checkout. This industry is holding you hostage to its frighteningly high ink prices, and we have figured out 2 ways to make sure that you never have to experience this ever again. 1, simply offer competitive ink prices. We have partnered with Alberta Toner, an ink retailer, who has promised us the exact same ink cartridges you can buy at Staples for 40 to 50% cheaper. We're also looking to partnering with companies like Randmar and Cinex, who offer very similar solutions. And 2, an ink subscription service that actually works. Our service will track the exact amount of ink you have left in your printer, something that HP and Canon do not do. When you're running low, Paige will send you a friendly prompt asking you if you'd like to buy more ink. Clicking yes will ship ink directly to your door. And when you're done with your ink, you can use our prepaid postage package to send your empty cartridge back to us, saving you the hassle of having to deal with it. To reiterate, we've improved the hardware, the software, and the ink distribution because we wanted to improve every touch point that you have with your printer.
So let's talk about the team that made this all possible. Steve is from Toronto, and he's graduating this fall from St. Lawrence College with a degree in accounting and finance. He's been our lead business developer for this entire project, helping us establish crucial relationships with HP, Xerox, and Lexmark. Nikita graduated from engineering physics this May with an electrical option, and he's been our lead hardware developer. Everything you see on stage has been developed by him. And I'm Michael. I'm from Calgary, and I'm graduating next year from Queen's with an applied economics degree and computing science. I've been the lead software developer for this project. We're also really excited about our team of advisors. Mark, the COO of GSN3 Technologies, Chris, the co-founder of Mosaic Manufacturing, and Brad, the former chairman of Bluetooth, have all been incredibly invaluable in helping us build our business to where it is right now.
We took a bottoms-up approach when measuring this business opportunity. According to our customers, 17% of them would pay a premium price for a product that offers the same solutions that we do. Now, we understand that our initial demographic consists of design-oriented early adopters, and therefore we will be using Kickstarter to launch our product and to validate our market. We believe we can sell 1,000 of our own printers on Kickstarter, which is just a fraction of the 9.85 million units sold this past year in North America. The global home printer market is worth $100 billion, which means there's a massive opportunity for us here. The market is big, it's not going anywhere, and we believe we have a product and business model that challenges those of our competitors. This is a breakdown of our cost structure. To put a single printer together, as well as its material cost, will cost us $135. The cost of goods sold, which includes things like packaging, materials, shipping, salaries, depreciation, and overhead, bring our price up to $189. If we price our printer at $250, we are making a gross profit margin of 27% for each printer. And to keep our costs low, we're going to use a direct distribution model, meaning we will use a fulfillment service to bring the printers from our warehouse straight to your door.
So let's talk about what's next. Everything you see on stage right now, and so much more, has been developed by 3 people with $4,000 over the course of the summer. Imagine what we could do with your support and with $30,000. We'd be able to finish development by the spring of 2017, including building out both our mobile applications and our cloud service. Next, we'd move to Kickstarter that summer. As Nikita said, we think Kickstarter is the perfect place for our product, full of design-conscious, early adopters willing to give feedback on this product. After that, we hope to finalize our supply chain and manufacturing process, with the hopes of you being able to buy our printers online and ship them direct to your door by the summer of 2018.
There's a theme to today's pitch. It's user first. We believe the printer is ready for it to be made with you at the center of its design. Whether you're printing wedding invitations or your son's grade 3 report, it's time for that experience to be enjoyable. Paperweight Technologies sees the home printer as our first step to making your life a little bit easier. The company Nest beat out Honeywell's $40 thermostats, priced their own at $250, and used their success to enter into the home market. We believe we can do something similar and use our printer as our thermostat, as our introduction into making products that give you the best experience possible. It's time for the printer industry to work with you, not against you. We're Paperweight Technologies. Thank you very much.
A very short question on where you are now. I've marked up your flyer here. Can you scan it for me now by putting your phone in the tray?
Not right now on the stage because we don't have any power, but absolutely we already have
but
scanning working. Yeah.
If you could plug it in, you could do that now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess I sort of assumed that printers have been around for a while. They're sort of kind of a commodity. Clearly, I was wrong. But I'm wondering, did you ever, there's some big players in this space. Did you ever, consider a licensing model, talking to HP or Canon or some of the big players, given that you've got some patent protection for your IP?
Absolutely. So what we've done is we've actually designed our software around any piece of existing hardware. And we're currently in talks with HP to license one of their mechanical components, such as the printer cartridge head that runs up or across your printer, so we don't have to deal with that patent nightmare.
I meant you license to them rather than you license from them.
Wow. I'm sure that's a possibility, and we'd love that very much, but we're just trying to push this product to market as best with the highest quality possible. But yes, we would love to look into that field more.
I'll go next. So next 6 months, what are the 2 or 3 most critical things for the business?
So our first priority, we have 2 main priorities right now. We need to build out the rest of our ecosystem, so including Android, iOS, and as well as our cloud platform. And we need to secure licensing agreements so we don't have to make the mechanical parts ourselves. Luckily, Nikita has someone in his close personal network that's already made a licensing agreement with HP. So this seems very attainable in the next 6 months.
Okay.
So you're convinced that HP is going to make it for you, so there's a good source of supply? Let's say your Kickstarter, you get 10,000 orders. What are you going to do?
Well, actually, HP has a new inkjet printer factory in China, and they are prepared to manufacture 60 million inkjet printers a year, so there should be lots of supply from them there. When I talked to the HP manager of intellectual property, he suggested that I use that as my model for supply.
Okay, now you wanted to sell the product, if I've got this right, at $250.
Yes.
Which doesn't leave you a whole bunch of profit. Can you raise that price and still be competitive?
We think so, yes. I mean, people buy 3 or 4 Nest thermostats for their home, and they spend lots and lots of money on every other kind of consumer technology they own, when cheaper technology works just as well in certain cases. Yet people really value a user experience in their final product. So even if we raise our price to meet either unexpected costs or because we can, we think we can still remain competitive because people really care about the user experience of their product.
Just one more. Paperweight. How did you come up with that name?
We thought it was pretty ironic, considering we were trying to improve the printer. To be honest, we didn't like it at first, but the rest of the cohort really wanted us to come up with that name. So we're now Paperweight Technologies.
You said that you needed some intellectual property from, let's say, Hewlett-Packard. What if they don't give you that intellectual or let you lease that intellectual property?
Luckily, there's lots of other manufacturers. Canon and Epson both have their own printer engine redistribution system. So, for example, most Brother printers, Samsung printers, Toshiba printers, really any other manufacturer aside from HP, Canon, and Epson, use their engines in their own printers and just repackage it. So for a printer manufacturer to do this is well within kind of their area of expertise and well within their business.
And what's the price of a generic printer that someone's going to Staples and picking up today?
It really depends on the segment you're looking at. There's 5 main segments. So you can purchase one for $29.95, a little HP with no Wi-Fi and no scanning. And that would be in the first segment up to $75. After that, $75 to $150, you get into more expensive printers, and quite often they go on sale and they're sold at a loss. We're actually in the first level of premium at $250, at 17% of all of the printers sold, and it actually is where HP keeps 17% of its printers currently for sale.
It's always nice to have an element of recurring revenue. You're selling toner cartridges, but you're doing it with third parties. Is Paperweight going to collect a portion of the sale of toner cartridges as they leave those? Do you get a piece of that action?
Yes, our agreement is structured in such a way that is the plan. Yes.
Okay, one more question. So if you were going to give me in one sentence, the compelling reason I need to buy this printer as opposed to going to Staples and buying, HP. I mean, how would you pitch it in an elevator in one sentence? Why do I want this one rather than?
When was the last time you had to run to Staples at 9:50 at night, 10 minutes before it closes, to print off your son's grade 5 report for the next day? And when was the last time your printer spectacularly failed right when you needed it not to? I know there's a lot of people here today that will put up their hand with a yes to that question. And the user experience today matters more so than ever before. So Paperweight and Page is what we think the answer is.
Thanks.
Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
Who's the designer?
So I built this one myself. We had an industrial designer design this one specifically and actually built it for us. I think the three of us kind of put our heads together in terms of how we wanted it to look, but he was the one that actually finally ended up bringing it into reality and turning it into physical form.
So is it a design patent that you're going after?
No, this is a full provisional patent that we filed as of yesterday.
Yeah, just about 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.